In this video, I'm going to break down exactly why you should be using a calendar, potentially Google Calendar, how you can actually structure it for yourself, and how you can leverage it to step away from the 9 to 5, or what you should be doing as a full-time coach in order to prioritize, move forwards, and change your life and change other people's lives. So you don't know who I am. I'm Luke Anna, a top 2% podcaster and badass business builder, helping coaches make a ton of money, escape the 9 to 5, and live a life of freedom like this. So few reasons. Like, first of all, like, I used to be that guy that did not plan anything. Whilst I was at university, there was no plan, there was nothing. And it made it really challenging to excel in the things that I wanted to excel in. And you might be here as well too. Like, you maybe have a few goals or a few things you want to do, or maybe you just want to build that one side hustle, like the coaching business, right? And you're not structuring your time. Or maybe you're somebody who is a full-time entrepreneur with this, full-time coach, and you're just like, okay, so like, what should I actually be doing, Luke? Because I feel like all my time's getting eaten up. Or on the flip side, I don't feel like I'm doing enough, and my business isn't moving forward as well as I would like it to. So yeah, we're gonna break it down. So the first reason why it's key is time management. And if you think about it, you think about the chaos that would ensue. Imagine that you went to an airport and they didn't have time slots for each and every plane. Can you imagine how much chaos there would be? How many crashes there would be? How, like, nobody would get to their destination on time. It's the same for you. You're not going to get to your destination, your goal, on time if you don't plan your time effectively. Now, it's also similar. Let's say you are a very busy person. You also want to allocate time for balance, for going to birthday parties, or for Christmas, or for dating. I remember a few months back when I was dating, and it was a long distance kind of thing. Not doing it anymore, but long story short, each and every week, I would calendar in 1 hour to talk to this person, because my time is like, I'm a go-getter. Like, if you guys are tuning in, I'm in hopes that you're a go-getter as well. Like, you want to get shit done, but you also want to live the life that you want to live. And that doesn't come without planning. It doesn't come without prioritizing. It doesn't come without time management. So it's key. It's key that you manage your time. So we're actually going to be breaking down what my Google Calendar looks like, as well as what I think your Google Calendar should look like if you're in a 9 to 5, and structuring what you should be doing and what you shouldn't be doing. If you're just starting, or you're just or you're in action of growing, or you're in action of leaving your 9 to 5, and go ahead and do that. So for example, let's just get rid of this real quick. I also look at calendar as an opportunity, or a calendar in general, for accountability. It means that if it's on the calendar, it gets done. If it's not on the calendar, then you either forget about it, you try and plan everything in your head, which is the worst thing that you could possibly try and do. The same as, like, from a journaling perspective, you like imagine trying to journal like 10 years of bad thought patterns and just doing it in your head. Like, it's so dumb. Don't do that. And there was some studies I remember reading a while ago, just as a side note, that it said something like journaling once a week brings your depression down by something like 35%. So it's pretty hectic. And I would say on the flip side as well, when I didn't structure my time, as a caveat, I ran 3 businesses at one time. So I had the podcast running, I was network marketing, and I was coaching at one time. So imagine trying to do all of that without a calendar. Absolute mess. As a caveat, that actually allowed me to prioritize and cut back down to 1, and then step back into 2 when we launched the podcast again. But none of that thing would be achieved. And imagine having a team, and imagine having multiple clients, and trying to schedule in things weekly, and trying to keep order within their life, within the chaos that does ensue within life, and not having that time allocated for. So it's so key that you allocate time for yourself so that you can actually grow. So we're gonna we're going to set up a calendar together of what I think you should be doing for if you're a 9 to 5 to start. And then the second thing that we're going to do, and this is 9 to 5 to start, and then eventually leave your 9 to 5. Like some of my clients, like Lorna, she started with us. She was with us for 4 months, and then she left her 9 to 5, and went full time and was blasting it off in Morocco. Like literally, like went from her 9 to 5 to Morocco. Was in Morocco for like 2 months. Came back for a month, and then was off to Morocco again for like 6 months. So amazing. But she also ran a marathon. She also developed a coaching business. So there was like a lot there, right? She was doing kickboxing. She was doing workouts. There was a lot there. So in order to actually keep mental clarity, it's key to have the calendar. So that she could do the needle movers in her business to allow her to leave the 9 to 5. And I'm sure that's the same as what you want to do as well. So we're going to set up a 9 to 5 calendar. So if you've never used the Google Calendar before, I recommend maybe you put it up by the side of this and then allocate some time to rock and roll with us. So yeah, let me show you. Okay, so this is an empty calendar for this week, or for next week rather. So the first thing that you want to just plan out is like, when are you eating, bro? And if you're in a 9 to 5, if you're not batching food or getting food delivered to you, you're honestly making a critical error with your time. Because if you think about it, like you're probably cooking at least an hour, 2 hours a day. That's an hour or 2 hours you could have back building your business. So the first thing you want to do is identify when are you going to be meal prepping. So that might look like 8 till 10 on a Sunday. Then I'm going to set that up to repeat because I want to do that every single week. So weekly, Sunday. And then maybe you get the food delivered or you go shopping before. Now some of you guys are like, oh, I don't want to get up at like 7 a.m. on a Sunday. Okay, cool. So like move this a little bit. Hey. It's that simple. Like 9 to 5. Okay, so if you're running 9 to 5, let's say you're going to eat usually at 8 a.m. and that's going to be breakfast. So these are going to be the first, like it's basic things. Like people think, oh, okay, like what's the first thing that I put in? It's like the necessities. The necessities are the first thing that you put in. Is food, is like all the other things. So I know that's going to repeat on weekly. I'm going to probably put that in a different color, maybe yellow or green, because that fulfills me. Boom. And then we've got lunchtime. So maybe you get half an hour, maybe you get an hour for lunch. We'll just put an hour for now. But I'm going to put lunch, and this is key. I'm going to put lunch and learning. Lunch and learning. So you can watch, maybe you're in a coaching program right now. Maybe when you get into one, you can do a little bit of learning there. Like half an hour of squeezed in learning will do you wonders. So we'll that set up daily. And then let's say you come back from work at 5:30, 5:45. I would immediately, it's actually, I would say maybe it's up to you. Like some people, like the way that I would prefer to do this is I would do my workout before I go into work. That way it's done and out of the day, and then I can just eat, and then I can work on my business in the evening. But let's say you don't, and let's say you're going to exercise. Do not give yourself an hour and a half. Like give yourself 45 minutes. That is all you need. And I can tell you that as somebody who was like bodybuilding full time, whilst having 2 jobs, 45 minutes is all I need. Just shorten your rests, work harder. Okay, immediately after that, I'm going to have my prepped food. So, prepped food. Now, some of you might say, but my gym's really far away. Then go to a closer gym. Like, these are life decisions that you need to make. I'm being kind of like strict and to the point because I'm like, I want you guys to like live the life that you want to live here. Like, maybe some of these days you don't actually go to the gym, so maybe we'll customize this a little bit. So we'll go Moon calendar's a little glitchy sometimes. Yeah, let's just say every weekday. Maybe you just go every weekday and you don't go on the weekends. I don't know. Cool. So you let that all of that jazz in. We've got the standard stuff. Then we know that we're going to work from 9 till 5. Now, some of you guys are going to have indifference. Like we've had students that do like 8 till 8, Thursday to Sunday, or Wednesday to Saturday. Like Camille, who earned 12,500 in like 3 weeks. She worked Wednesday to Saturday, 8 till 8, which meant Sunday she had a little bit more of a chill, a little bit more recovery. And then Monday, Tuesday, she would just go hard on the business. And it clearly worked. So, you know, you can build it. So we know that that's going to happen daily. This is the function that I wanted earlier. Okay, so we've got that. And let's call that work. Okay, cool. So after you've got the prepped food done, I would recommend that you spend an hour and a bit for you to do DMs. So direct messages. So long story short, once you're getting people to your page, you've got people liking and commenting on your content that I'm going to show you where you're going to create some time for, we're going to do your DMs here. It's actually a really good time to be doing DMs because that's when a lot of other people are home from work. So it's actually a really good time to do it. So I would do that Monday to Friday. Because in an hour and a half, guys, like if you follow my frameworks and stuff, you can convert a conversation in like 2 minutes. So like that's a lot of people. If you've got engaged people and you're going back and forth, like super simple. Then I would spend half an hour to 15 minutes doing some outside learning. So maybe you're part of a program. And we're just going to put that in. Just put that in. And I would do that daily. That means that, I'm just talking Monday to Friday right now. Cool. So that means in a week, you're spending a good 1 hour, 2 hours, 2 hours and a half learning. Like if you were to come through my modules, 2.5 hours is about the time it would take you to get through the first 2 modules. So how to structure and do your time and build your vision and all the rest of it. And all of your neuro identity, plus how to build a wham bam offer that people feel silly not to buy. So pretty powerful. Then from like 9 till 10, like you're winding down. Like that's like so that you can keep your mental clarity, right? Off the screens, off anything else. Like I do not watch TV. The only TV that I watch is YouTube things from my mentors and my and everybody else. And the reason why is because it just makes me more focused. I'm just more focused. If you want to watch like TV and you want to do that, like maybe do it on like your Saturday as a treat, or maybe do your Sunday as a treat, but don't do it every single day. And I know this because I've bro scienced it. When I watch things from TV in the week, it throws me off in terms of how productive I am towards my business. So if you want to build a business, you don't want to be watching TV. Like, don't do it. Don't do it to yourselves. Unless it's going to be things like maybe you're watching this YouTube video, maybe you watch my YouTube videos Monday to Friday. We are literally putting out one every day this week, so it's perfect. But yeah, and then in the morning, let's say you get up at 6 a.m. If you get up at 6 a.m., like you've got a solid like 2 hours, like almost 3 hours before you go to work. Like that's a lot of time. So you could do DMs in the morning, And I also want to throw as a caveat, you want to have this as like direct messages and sales calls. Then don't be intimidated by this. So this could be direct messages and sales calls. Like an hour and a half, guys, is enough for either one very in-depth sales call or 2 sales calls. So you've got enough opportunity just in the week for 5 to 10 calls. Whilst also giving yourself a proper wind down. Like so many people mess this up, and like I know this because I've grown up in a household that love my parents, but they just watch TV until they get to bed. Like if you want to effectively wind down, if you're on screen for an hour, that's going to give you enough time. Maybe you go for a walk if it's safe in your area, or maybe like maybe you're just off screens, you're reading, you're journaling, like that's enough time, or you do some yoga, whatever. That's enough time, guys. It's plenty of time. So in the morning, even if you wanted to have a full-blown 1 hour morning routine, you could. Or maybe you get up at 6 a.m. and then you actually have your workout from 6:30 till 7:30 or 6:30 till 8. That is going to save you a ton of time, which means you don't have to do your exercise in the evening, which means you could actually move all of this. So you could have your prepped food at 5:30. And then you could do your direct messages and other things a little bit earlier. And then you could do outside learning a little bit earlier. And then you could wind down a little bit younger. Or you could do no messages. Or you could hit you could hit no sales calls, which is going to move you out of the 9 to 5 even faster. And then on a Saturday morning, now you might want to swap this. Maybe you do the meal prep on Saturday morning and shopping Saturday morning, so you have a bit of break, rest, but you also get some errands done. And I would just batch all your errands. So maybe you do a little washing and stuff here as well. Washing and errands. Like be efficient, guys. Be super efficient with this. And then maybe on the rest of a Sunday, like you go explore nature. Like I love Sundays are like my go-to for exploring nature. So maybe you go explore nature on a Sunday. So maybe you do that a little bit earlier. But yeah. And then I would batch content from 9 a.m. to 1 a.m. So I'll give you guys an example. Like my content framework, the way that I teach my students how to batch content, so I started at 8 a.m. and by 12:30, I had created and filmed everything for 3 weeks. For 3 weeks. That then goes to an editor. She does the editing. So takes her anywhere from 20 minutes to half an hour to do each one. So if you have a decent income level, you're earning anywhere from 5 to 10k a month, if not up to 20. Like we have a corporate student who she earns like 20k a month in her corporate job already. So she actually has a ton of capital to throw behind ads, which is just an absolute win. It just means that she's going to leave her job even faster. But anyhow, I would do your content creation here. So, and just to help you out, I would even break that down a little bit. So like to make this easier, and I tell my students to do this all the time, is create a recipe. Create a recipe, like a recipe for success. So maybe step 1 is content pillars, like the kind of topics that you help with. Let's say you're a relationship coach. You help with communication. You help with maybe masculine and feminine energy. And if you don't know what that is, then that's cool. Maybe that isn't a category for you. Maybe it's habits. Maybe it's self-reflection. Maybe it's like self-awareness and goal setting. So you do your content pillars. Then you think, okay, I've got 4 pillars and I want to create for 2 weeks. So that means that I need roughly, if I'm going to do 1 post a day, I need 13 pieces of content. So maybe I write down a title idea for each pillar. So maybe I need like 4. We can put 16 pieces of content because it's going to even it out for you guys. But four title ideas for each pillar. 3, once I've got the title ideas, bring my phone up and press record. Guys, I can't tell you how easy that. Like, I used to script everything, and now I just pull my phone out and I just film. It's just easier. There's minor things that we do, but yeah, that's how I would do it. And then 4 is I would either send to an editor to save myself 10 to 30 minutes per video, or if I was one hardcore badass person, I would then spend 5 to 10 minutes editing each video, which like I did for my first 6 figures. Like I didn't even hire an editor for my first 6 figures. I just did everything myself. So if you get 13 videos, let's say 10 videos, and you're trying to edit super fast, so maybe use like, I don't know, a captioned app, maybe use CapCut. Let's say we're limiting ourselves to 5 minutes, and like be strict with yourself, or 10 minutes, then I know for 10 videos equals, somebody help me out here. Okay, yes, I just multiplied 10 by 10. Well, 100 minutes. So it's like roughly 2 hours, right? So maybe I do all my content creation in the morning because that's when my brain's the best, and I feel most creative. And then maybe I do like 2 hours of editing, and that takes me up to 3:30. Then I'm definitely going for like some sort of walk. And then maybe I have a couple slots for sales calls here or messages. Now I want to usher this that like I'm planning this schedule for you guys to leave your 9 to 5, like in the fastest time possible. Like I'm not thinking like this is a roadmap here to leave your 9 to 5 in the next 30 to 90 days. This is not a roadmap to leave your 9 to 5 eventually in 3 years. If you want to do that, then cool, but you might lose motivation along the way. I prefer doing it as like a 30 to 90 day sprint. It's a little bit of a hustle, but like I said, like we're not going to burn you out. Like you've got Sunday off, you've got your evenings, like late evenings off. You've got the mornings pretty open, and you could definitely adjust that if you wanted to. And then maybe Saturday and Sunday evening, you talk to family or spend time with family. You've also got to be in the season of saying no. Like when you're committing to leaving your 9 to 5, you've got to be in a season of saying no to a lot of things that aren't going to serve you. Because ultimately, if you don't say no to things, then you're saying yes to your time going elsewhere, which pulls away from the business and the lifeblood they need. It's like having a baby. Like I don't have a baby, but I'm just saying figuratively, when you have a baby at the start, it's going to be a lot of your attention, a lot of sleepless nights. Now, I'm planning this so that it's not sleepless nights, so this is more like toddler energy. But if you leave the baby, or you leave the toddler, baby or toddler is going to die. So yeah, that's going to be the key point here. So yeah, if you're in a 9 to 5, this is what I would make it look like. If you want more of my help, or you want me to just hyper optimize your schedule for you, just book a call down below, and we can talk about what that would look like. Like we've had loads of different people with different schedules, and we'll help you optimize their schedule. Firstly, for health, for growing yourself, and then secondly for allocating time to grow the business. So yeah, that's what it would look like if you're in a 9 to 5. On the flip side, let's create a completely new calendar here. Or not. On the flip side here, I'm actually just going to show you my calendar. So for me, like I have my morning routine, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m., 7 till 10, don't like doing meetings, don't like talking to people. Like that's my time for locking in. If you read the book, The Productivity Ninja, this is your proactive attention. And a lot of you are going to find that you're most productive between 7 till 10 a.m. So I just lock in. Pomodoro technique. Sometimes the videos out. I'm like, boom, 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 boom. And then every half hour I take a 5-minute break. Then meal 1, 15 minutes, quick protein shake. Morning workout, because I'm doing 75 hard, so I've got to allocate time for that. And then from 11 till 1, it depends where you're at. If you have a setter, and again, this is planning for scale here. So if you're scaling towards 50, 100K a month, like I am, then this is what I would recommend you do, so that you can get there as fast as possible, whilst not burning out. So I will take Sunday off. For me, Wednesday mornings are typically a little bit more chill, and then I have my group mentorship in the evenings as well. And then I track right at the end of the day, just because that's a skill that I'm developing. And then meal 4, I have everything there. So I eat 4 meals a day, but if you wanted to pull some of these things out, then you could do. The evening I would leave for wind down. It's entirely up to you. Like, I would leave evening for wind down. We're watching educational content. So if you could be watching my stuff from 8 till 9, like you blast through like 5 videos, or maybe you watch a travel one from me. Cool. And then from 11 till, so let's say you're like 5 to 10K a month and you haven't got a setter yet, then I would allocate from 11 till 1 and 2 till 4, DMs and sales calls. That's it. Like, that is it. So let's put DMs and sales opportunities. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yep. And here's a sneaky hack on Google Calendar, is you can actually put in free. So when people book in on your calendar on whatever software you're using, you can actually access that. I'm probably going to put that in a different color as well. Gold is cool, but we'll put it in light blue. And then I would have the same as well for I'm going to duplicate this. And then I would duplicate this as well. Okay, cool. So let's say that you're like, Luke, this is cool, but I don't want to work that much. Okay, cool. So what I would recommend you do is you have Monday, Tuesday, a little bit more like structured like this. And then for me, I would maybe take like the entirety of Wednesday off. This is what I've been doing for like the last 2-3 weeks and exploring. And then I would also take Saturday off from around 4 o'clock and then Sunday off as well. So then that way I'm sort of working anywhere from, and then I'm working anywhere from like 40 to 50 hours a week. If I'm on this sort of schedule, but if I'm taking more time off, then maybe I'm working like 20 to 30. Like when I was in Iceland, like literally my whole schedule was blank. And then it was from like 6 to 8 was DMs. And then on a Saturday morning, it was like content creation. That was it. And I just explored the entire time and made 20K that month. So like, it's totally achievable if you just do the things that matter. So like I said at the start of the video, like this is what you should be doing. Like DMs, sales, content. I can't tell you how simple it is. DMs, sales, content. It's that simple when you have that much traffic come to your page from an ad, which you should be doing. And you shouldn't be relying on organic and trialing and testing for the next 5 months to try and figure things out. But anyhow, that's what I would recommend that you do. So yeah, if you, again, like this is going to work differently for everyone. Like I'm a workhorse, like I can work. If you know what human design is, I'm a generator. So we're like literally like the workhorses of the earth as our Capricorns. So I'm like double up here. But if you don't enjoy that enjoy working that much, then like, cool, you could work 7 till 1 or 1 till 6. Like, as long as you're giving the most amount of energy to actually helping your students and actually creating more sales opportunities to actually go and help more people. Like, if you're honest, if you're listening to this and you genuinely want to help people and you want to do that as fast as possible, you want to leave your 9 to 5, but you also want to, like, when you leave your 9 to 5, you want to know what your days would look like literally plug and play this, and then trial and error. Like, guys, like, this is every single week I analyze what works and what doesn't. I started taking Wednesdays off because I started finding that Wednesday evening I would start self-sabotaging because I was a little tired, and then when I'm tired I self-sabotage. So then I started giving myself more space on a Wednesday. Then I started, like, I remember I love tracking every day. I put it at like 8 p.m. and I was like doing it and I was like, oh, that's so painful. But then I changed it to doing it at 6 p.m. and I was like, boom, I can do that, and then I'm done on the day, sick. And I know I've changed lives. And then I can go work out and then go eat, and then I can like wind down watching educational content my way. So yeah, that's the way that I like to do it. Again, like, if you want me to hyper optimize your calendar for you, then just book a call down below. But I hope you took a ton of value from this. Share this with somebody who is building a business, and yeah, go change some lives. And a small caveat, like, before I end this, there are some creative types listening to this that are like, oh, I don't think this will work for me, but like, oh, gal, what's worked for you to this point is going to get you here, but it's not going to get you there. And if you want to build a business that's doing 50 to 100K a month, you want to have more freedom to travel, then you need to schedule your time. Otherwise, it's just constant chaos. And the reason why you feel like you need a break all the time, you need more space, is because you've got so much chaos going on. So if you actually just calendared in your time, created a lot of certainty for yourself in your life, and then just followed through, then you would be achieving everything that you wanted to achieve. So yeah, hope this helps you a ton. Let me know down below in the comments if you want me to make more things like this. And yeah, go change some lives and go be the person that you were put on this earth to be. Peace and love. Bye.